God sent a plague of frogs. Frogs were everywhere, in the houses, in the fields, in the beds, even in Pharaoh's palace. There were so many frogs hopping around it was impossible to avoid them. Pharaoh called Moses and said, "Please ask God to take the frogs away." So Moses pleaded with God to remove the frogs, and God heard his prayer. But once they were gone, Pharaoh still wouldn't let the people go. The next plague was lice. Lice are tiny bugs that crawl in your hair and on your skin. Yuck! The Egyptians got covered in lice, and it was so annoying. But Pharaoh still refused to let the Israelites go. Next, God sent swarms of buzzing flies. They were everywhere, flying around the Egyptians and making life even harder. But God protected the Israelites. No flies went near their homes. In fact, not one of the plagues was found anywhere in the Israelites' camp. Pharaoh begged Moses to make them go away. Once again, Moses prayed for God to remove the flies. But once they did, Pharaoh changed his mind again and said, "No!" Then God sent the fourth plague that made all the Egyptian animals, like cows and horses, to get sick and die. But guess what? The animals of the Israelites stayed safe. Pharaoh saw this, but still refused to let the people go. Next came the fifth plague. Pharaoh and his people got sick with terrible boils. These were painful sores all over their skin. It was very uncomfortable. But even after all of this, Pharaoh still wouldn't let the Israelites go free. After every plague, he would ask Moses to plead with God for them, and after God healed them, Pharaoh would say, "No." The sixth plague that God sent was a big storm with hail and fire falling from the sky. The hail destroyed everything in its path, trees, crops, and even buildings. But once again, Pharaoh refused to listen. Next, God sent a cloud of locusts. They ate every single plant in Egypt. The whole land looked empty with no crops left. Pharaoh begged Moses to stop the locusts, but when they were gone, he still didn't let the people go. Now God made the whole land of Egypt fall into total darkness for 3 days. It was so dark the Egyptians couldn't see anything, not even each other. But the Israelites had light. Pharaoh tried to bargain with Moses, but he still wouldn't agree to let them go. The 10th plague that God sent was the last and most terrible plague. The firstborn child in every Egyptian family, from Pharaoh's palace to the lowest servant, would die that night. But God gave the Israelites a way to stay safe. They had to mark their door with lamb's blood. A male lamb with no blemish had to be taken for each household. It had to be cut, and the blood had to be applied on the doorposts. When the angel of death passed over, their children would be protected. The Israelites obeyed God and marked their doors with blood. That night, the angel of death passed over their homes, and their children were saved. That night, Pharaoh finally had enough. He told Moses, "Take your people and go. Leave Egypt and never come back." So Moses and the Israelites quickly packed their things and left Egypt. They were free at last. And just like that, with Moses leading them, the Israelites began their journey toward the place that God promised them. They had been through so much, but with God's help, they were finally free. So kids, that's the story of how God got the Israelites out of Egypt. It shows us that no matter how tough things get, God is always there to help us. He keeps his promises and is powerful beyond belief. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun stories from the Bible. See you next time.